Happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Have you ever wondered how people get started in turning? You see people turn these beautiful bowls like Carl Jacobson turning ambrosia maples and exotic woods, and it's wonderful and they look fantastic. But how did he get to that point? Well, it come with practice. And today I want to give you a few tips and a few things that I'm practicing on and things I want to show you that I've learned. But I'm not going to use walnut or cherry or ambrosia maple. We're going to use a 2x4. Gluing up is pretty straightforward. You just get a bunch of different boards together, make sure they're level, flat, and just slap some glue on them and a ton of clamps. It's easier to find the center on a square than it would be for a round. You can do it, but it's easier this way. These are 7 1/4 inches wide, so I want to cut this off at the same at 7 1/4. So if I go 7 1/4, mark, now I've got my square, and I could do from corner to corner. And that's going to be pretty much my center. Now that I got my square, we'll just line it up to center, go as far out as I can to the width, and then just make a circle. We got our circle, we'll go back to the bandsaw and take off the corners. Now that we have a semi-round shape, we can determine what we want to use for the top or the bottom of the bowl. So the bottom of the bowl we're going to turn out first. So what we'll hollow out, we're going to put the faceplate on. I've determined the bottom we're going to hollow out this side. It's the prettier side, and this will be cut away, turned down. So what we need to do is put the faceplate on the pretty side, and we can center it up just about center with the hole that we did for the circle. Once we have that about centered, then we just screw it down. I have the central machine lathe from Arbor Freight, and if you're going to invest in this one as a starter lathe, this is a decent lathe for what I paid for it, and it's getting the job done for what I'm learning to do. But one thing I would suggest, the wrench that comes with these, throw it in the trash. Go ahead and find you an 1 1/4 wrench to be able to turn, because these will strip out. When you're turning the outside of the bowl, it's really safer to go ahead and put your tailstock up against it and lock it down just to give it some stability while you turn it and true it up and make it completely circular. We're going to start out slow. Make sure you got your shield on. Turn it on and go to town. Now that we got it semi-round, we're going to turn up the speed and go ahead and shape the bottom of the bowl. Now that we've pretty much got the bottom of the shape that we want, we're going to take the tailstock away and go ahead and get the bottom ready to turn it around to put into the chuck. One thing about this chuck, it has a dovetail bevel on it, so what you want to do is make sure the dovetail on your piece fits this, that way to give it a better grip whenever you tighten it down. The Easy Wood Detailer is a great tool to do that with. It makes for fine detail cuts, and the dovetails on the inside to give it a fit for your chuck. Now you just want to sand up the outside of the bowl while you have it on the faceplate. You know, I'm pretty pleased being a 2x6. I wouldn't recommend this as a regular turning. Like I said, I'm just practicing, but I'm pretty pleased to how even the knot, how smooth that became there. If you had a whole piece, I really believe with Easy Wood tools you can turn pine, maybe even some cedar. I hadn't had success with cedar on the lathe with traditional tools, but I think I'm going to try it now with the Easy Wood. But when you have cracks in it like this right here, I was looking at a few of the cracks. I'm going to just add a little CA glue to it and sand down some more. A little doctor's woodshop finish. Make this a little bit easier by going ahead and mounting the chuck on it while it's on the faceplate on the lathe, but you could do it this way too as well. Now that you're ready to turn the inside of the bowl, I'll take my drill chuck, or what I like to call my Jacobson chuck. You want to measure it as deep as you want it to go and go about right there, and then tape off. That way you know how far down to go. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's project. I've had a lot of fun out on the lathe turning, just trying some different techniques and just getting the feel for what the lathe can do and what it can't do. The main thing is when you get the lathe, treat it with respect, just like you would your table saw, your band saw, anything else. But have fun. Be cautious, but have fun. And you don't have to have exotic woods. Go out, find you a log. Go out, find you some 2x4s and glue them up, or some 2x8s and glue them up. See what you can turn out of it. You know, softer woods are a little bit harder to turn if you're not used to traditional tools. But again, Easy Wood Tools made it real easy to turn this bowl out of a 2x6. It was a 2x8 originally. Yeah. But I cut it down, so actually it was a 2x something. Thank you for watching. Greatly appreciate you tuning in. And always remember, be kind to one another. We all have to start somewhere, but we always...
Every time you troll, a lathe is turned into a disc sander.